So, motherfuckers, it's me, once again. I'm sat here with one of the guys in the program, Ned, and Ned has seen some insane results recently over the past 4 weeks since we've been working together. And so I wanted to get him on because, one, he's a fucking top guy. Two, we're sitting in a €10 million villa in the middle of Marbella just to display exactly what he's learned and how it's been effective for him. So the first question that I wanted to ask you, bro, is like, since working together, or since before we started working together rather, like, what was the biggest problems that you actually faced at the time?
Oh, damn, biggest problems. I want to say, firstly, the results speak for themselves. Like, we don't really need to speak about the results as much because, for even before entering this $10 million villa, which is sick to be at this mastermind, probably one of the reasons why I can do that is because I've actually been on the accelerator program. Like, I might not be here if I didn't do that because I wouldn't be getting the sales I needed. Like, I got 2 PIFs just the other week before I came here. It sets me up so well to then enjoy my time whilst I'm here. So, a big thing that I've done with Jack is I haven't increased my calls. I haven't, if anything, I've probably had less calls. I haven't integrated new systems, none of this and that. I've literally just had the same amount of leads and I've just closed more of them. So without putting any more into marketing, without putting any more into ads, my business has generated a lot more revenue. Like, I was at 7K last month and doing nearly 20K this month. Like, that just shows how important it is to sometimes not just focus on having more people come to you, but closing more of the people that do come to you so you can help those people in need.
Definitely, yeah. And that's fucking insane to see, by the way. Because that's such a key thing that so many business owners miss out on, is like they think, fuck, I need to generate so many more leads because they're closing at 10, 15, 20%, and they think, fuck, I'm sick at sales. But what they actually struggle to realise is that there's so much more room for growth in the close rate, but they focus on the things that business owners think that they should focus on, which is pumping more money into ads, investing, when actually, yes, investment is crucial to the game. However, as long as you invest in the right things, right?
Well, this is an investment, right? But you can look at it this way. So the way I looked at it is, one, major thing for me is I'm doing coaching because I love helping people. And if I can't help someone that needs help, then that's on me. So if someone is coming to a call, they need help, but they're scared to take a step, or I know that they're the perfect person, they know they're the perfect person, but we just can't come to agreement on how it's going to work for them, then I'm actually stopping myself and stopping that person from getting the help that they need. Because I have a 100% success rate. So then when you see that, it's sad when someone can't get that help, and you don't want their nerves or their limiting beliefs to stop them. And another thing I would say majorly is, if you look at ads in itself, and you have an ROI on ads, and you have how much it costs you per person to generate that, and if your sales percentage increases, then it's cheaper per lead, so you can put more money into ads. It builds a better system for your ads, because before, when I was running ads, let's say these are random numbers, but let's say it cost me $100 per lead. If I can get that to $50, then my ads are much more profitable, so it becomes much more important for me to then put more money into the ads. So before I invested in increasing my ad spend, which is, yes, it was a super important thing, I first, with the accelerator, fixed my sales within 1 month, to then, after that month, completely fix the ad spend and then scale it from there.
So, all right, and if you had to isolate one singular problem, or not even, if you had to list a couple of problems off before you started, in terms of your sales and in terms of how you approach calls, even with the mindset behind it, how you felt coming off of calls when they didn't go well, what would you list them out to be?
I'd say the whole thing is didn't go wow. That doesn't really even feel like a thing anymore, because now it's not a sales call. I'm just generally trying to see where someone wants to go, their intention behind that, their direction, and then giving them as much guidance as possible to then make any sort of commitment that they know they need to make. And if the person really isn't the right fit, then I also know personally that I don't need to actually do anything with them, and I can recommend them in a different place. But that means when someone comes to me that is the right fit, I have way more chance of actually generally being able to help them and helping them through making the commitment.
It's interesting that you say it's not a sales call anymore. If you reflect back to when before we worked together, and you were taking sales calls, grinding, and you were taking a lot of calls as well from when I remember. You were you definitely weren't short on lead flow. What was the biggest issue that you faced before we worked together?
I'd say the biggest issue I faced before we worked together is I'm someone that really wants to help the people that I train. And I felt like I was trying to sell the people that were coming in. And if you sell someone, then you're the one pushing. And if you're the one pushing, they don't necessarily have intention behind it. So a big thing, that reason why it doesn't feel like a sales call anymore, is because now the actual initial call for me is part of my actual like coaching process, because they become so internally motivated to take action. That means as soon as I start training them, they do well. I have a new thing now, like I have some people that just join my program purely because my referrals are so good. But even when they come on from a referral and I hardly do anything with them, I still do Jack's method as one of the first onboarding calls, and I just do 2 onboarding calls instead of 1, because it's so important to get them emotionally committed to the program for them to move forward and get good results.
Yeah, that's actually so sick as well, to know that people you literally use the same like identity shift in sales system, and you can still fucking put that into practice with referrals, because every lead is a lead, bro. Like, you shouldn't never change your approach with leads. And so many people have this fucking limited mindset of like, I can just base my entire business off referrals. And so that means that they don't need to get better at sales, because you can close referrals at fucking 80-90% with any kind of fucking sales process. Do you know what I mean? If your results are good enough.
Extremely unscalable though.
Yeah, of course it is.
Depending on the business. But I'd say for most business owners, just basing the whole thing off referrals, yeah, that might be good, that might get you to 50k, but is it really going to get you to the 1 million? I know maybe some of you listening to this don't want that, but 1 million a month mark? No. Like, you're just not going to get enough referrals, enough lead flow for that to be consistent enough where you can do that.
And you know, on that first call, when we ran through like the internal mastery system, and we listed out like all of the internal fucking roadblocks when I was in Paris, and we jumped on, and we listed out all of those fucking roadblocks, and we got to the bottom of like all of the belief systems all of the beliefs within the belief system that needed to shift. How impactful was that for you in actually then changing your approach and changing your perception to actually taking on sales calls, and not just looking at it as a piff, but looking at it as a fucking therapy session?
Yeah, it was hugely important, man. Like, for me as well, it was something that I was kind of already doing with other people. Like, not quite the way that you do it, but it was something that I was doing with my like clients that I train. It was having such a big impact on them for taking results. But one thing you don't realize is, like, until you get a sales coach, you're doing everything internally and you're making decisions without realizing it. It's like when you go and help your mate and give them a business idea, or you go and help your mate and you mention this or that, you're looking at it externally, so you're able to do that. Like, until Jack did that to me, I was doing it for other people in a sense, but I wasn't doing it for myself. And then when I did it for myself, I was so much more clear, actually not just on my sales, but what I wanted to achieve with my life, because I had that external person helping me build these goals, that just made it way easier to like even put the work into the business, because I was more motivated to do that. And also it helped me with the golden ticket syndrome, like focusing less on switching between things, because it's not something I do, but it's something I have thoughts about. But I've noticed those thoughts have got less and less and less, because I know the true reason behind me doing the business that I have, which is coaching people like entrepreneurs get in amazing shape and build peak performance. And I've realized that is because of internal goals that I didn't know I had before.
And how now putting yourself essentially through that identity shifting system, even without me there, like I know that you do this on your own as well, putting yourself through the sales process basically, and allowing yourself to actually see the other side of it from a non-biased perspective. Like, how important has that been for you in your approach to actually shifting the perception that you have on the results that you're able to get?
Yeah, super important, because you're helping people take a step in their life, and you need to make sure that you're helping them take the right step. And if you know what the right step was before for you, and you have clarity on you can help other people do the same. Until you understand your own identity and beliefs and mindset, then it's hard to help someone else do that, because you're telling someone to step into this, step into that, or like become this person, or like start taking action to become this person. But if you don't know the person you're trying to become, are you really taking actions to become that person? Because are you not just then walking blindly forward?
And that's so fucking true. So many business owners and so many closers, so many sales managers, everyone in the fucking sales space preaches and pitches to be this type of person, to like make the uncomfortable decision, give a little fear pep talk, but they're not willing to overcome it themselves. They think that they can all do it on their own, and it's a problem that I encountered for such a long time. By the way, let's fucking go. 20k months is fucking insane. To literally go from like 7k a month to 20k months. And how long have we been working together?
No more ad spend either.
Yeah, no more ad spend. In how many days?
It's been about a month.
Yeah, like 30 to 40 days, right?
Yeah. And also your training, your accelerator, I would always, even if you had a fucking another thing, like a longer program that was maybe even cheaper or whatever, that took longer, I would just not do that. Because if you can accelerate your sales process, the cash collection accelerator, for me, it's just like go in 1 month, boom, sort out my sales for the next 12 months. Yes, I'll probably have to top that back up at the end of a year to make sure that I'm super dialed, but it is literally like, instead of spending 6 months getting your driving test, doing the like fast process or whatever, you know what it is, like that you can do, and doing it in 1 month and being able to drive, and then by being able to drive you can go see your mates, you can go get a job,
For real.
you can go and actually have the fun that you want to have. And it's the exact same with sales. You don't want to be spending ages learning sales, because how are you going to increase your ad spend? How are you going to help more people? How are you generally going to be the mentor as well that you want to be? Like, you need to, I understood this mindset stuff. I've achieved a lot of stuff in terms physically in my life, and I was building the business obviously before this, which is why I was able to afford it. So I understood my mindset to a degree. But what Jack massively helps you with is the delivery that helps people come to terms with it even more. Because if I say to you, why do you not have the mindset that you need to take action? You're going to be like, what the fuck? Or if you say this and I say, you should be doing this, you're going to be like, oh, hold on, bro. But if I ask you a question that relates to you and fits the conversation in the direction you want to go in with your life, and I understand your life, then it means that you're going to just really tell me what it is that you want out of your life.
Give an example.
Give an example.
Just on the spot, yeah.
Classic on the spot, Jack.
Hot seat. There you go.
So an example is really simple. Someone says, I want to start looking more shredded. Really basic way. Instead of going, okay, that's awesome, and like, do you want to be more shredded to build your confidence? You can just ask, like, what makes you want to be more shredded? And then they can actually tell you the genuine reason behind them wanting to get in shape. And then that means you can make sure that, one, you're the person to genuinely help them, and two, it's enough of a reason, and it's like a good reason for them to actually put an investment into a program, and three, it allows you to really understand the reason why they're taking the action, so that if it is super important, you can almost hold them accountable on the call to taking that action.
Yeah, and that's fucking sick, by the way. Just small little 1%. There's a phrase that says the smallest hinges swing the biggest doors. And one last thing that I wanted to say is that, so, you know, you mentioned how important it was for you to have the progress in a short amount of time to accelerate your progress, essentially, by working together. It's a concept that not a lot of people understand, actually, bro. It's like time versus money. Like, they understand it, like, there is time and money. I understand it as two separate components, but they never measure it up against each other. And time versus money essentially means that people will either value one or the other. And if you value your time more than your money, then wouldn't it not make sense to be able to invest your money to give yourself back the time that you need in order to make more money?
Yeah.
But so many people fucking have the money first, like, I'm going to do it on my own and just spend as much time. Especially of us young entrepreneurs. We can be little fuckers for that sometimes, bro.
I think it's bad with both. Like, I'd say the first step to do is, like, if you're watching this video, finish this video, just subscribe to his YouTube and go through his Instagram, because then at least you're taking some form of action. And then after you do that, just book a call, because like, if it's not right for you, the whole process that Jack seeks is we find out what's right for the individual, make sure that it aligns with them, and if it aligns with them, then we take action on that. We never force someone to buy a pen that they don't need. It's not about getting them to buy that pen. It's about, do they have a reason for that pen? If they have a reason, like, how am I going to get them to pay for this pen so that they can genuinely sort out their issue and actually move forward? So yeah, if you're actually skeptical about any of these things and you're skeptical about investing, then that's cool. But if you actually genuinely want to move forward in business, you have to be happy to take opportunities. And the opportunity that you have here is to watch more of his YouTube videos, is to learn from him with the free advice he's got. And then once you've plucked up the courage, then book a call in and just see where it'll take you.
You see, like, you've clearly made it to here, so well done for actually putting in the steps and investing the attention to actually get to this point. Now, there's no request, there's no CTA. The only thing that I'll say is, you genuinely want to learn more, you can find my Instagram in the description. You can also find Ned's Instagram in the description. You want to hit him up, drop him a message, go and look how fucking shredded he is. You can find his Instagram there as well. I have no need to big anything up. This is a fucking insane journey that you've been on, bro, and I'm so fucking excited to see the results that you're going to get.
100%.
Fucking sick. Before they go, where are you going to be by the end of next month?
By the end of next month? Well, I don't know where I'll be by the end of next month, but I 100% know where I'll be by the end of the year, and that is 100k a month. But even more importantly than that, I will be helping busy entrepreneurs and business owners genuinely make real world impact by feeling amazing about themselves, having the status and respect they deserve, and actually having the energy and focus to dial in their business, get more done within their business in a short amount of time, so they can also have more free time with the people that they want to spend that free time with, which is going to allow them to be better leaders, better actual business owners. They're going to be better to their employees. They're going to actually be better people within their family, whether they have a family themselves or whether they're just part of a family. Yeah. And this is going to mean that their business is going to have more real world impact, which means that me helping a few very high level business owners or individuals like yourself that should also be working with Jack is going to mean I'm going to have real world big time impact, which is one of the most important things for me.
Fucking sick, bro. All right, we're ending it there. Fuck it. That was insane.
That was so good.